Now we'll move on, I think, to the, without much ado, to the next session. I have started all over again. I'll take it to the deans. So may I request the deans to talk about how they, I think on the panel of the teens, we have unmuted all of them. And please do start in the order. I think let's go by Ahmed Mahmood Qureshi. If you could please start. And like Dr. Trimble said, perhaps a very quick recap rather than a whole longer time, with deep apologies.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you see my screen? Thank you so much. Can you see my screen?
No, sir, not yet.
Not yet. Perhaps you could just talk to the point since, yeah. If you could just talk to the points, I think it should be fine.
Okay, fine. So the Faculty of Computer and Mathematical Sciences, it comprises of 3 departments, computer science, mathematics, and statistics, and all are housed in the science building. Regarding the achievements in the last year, of course, the major challenge was the successful completion of spring 2020. So our faculty was able to face the challenge of COVID-19 and complete the online teaching. They made remarkable efforts to quickly adapt themselves to skillful use of technology for an online system. And at the same time, they were able to devise proficient methods for student assessments. Then graduates outlook. So our undergraduate and postgraduate students, they were able to present papers in prestigious international avenues like IEEE and Springer. And now our students, graduate students, are getting admissions at top professional universities, and they are heading for their careers as well. Further, the CS department signed an MOU with DICE Analytics that will help in collaborating, training, internships, job opportunities, and placements of our students. And we are happy to report that the first batch of our MSCS students, they graduated in February 2020. This year. Regarding the goals next year, of course, the first one is to improve the quality of education and revising the courses to meet the current challenge. The mathematics department has reviewed their courses, and the other 2 departments are already set for this year, and making certain that our blended teaching caters to the students' learning needs. Statistics department is also going to offer, and they have in fact launched their MS program, MPhil program in statistics. So we have our diversified courses to meet the current challenges, and we are ready to encourage research culture in applied stats and mathematical statistics and statistical quality control. Another goal set for this year is the re-accreditation of our BSCS program by NCEAC. We are already placed at the highest W category for our BS program, and a revisit of NCEAC team is due this year, and we are expecting a good ranking again. Challenges, as we see, foremost challenge is, of course, to meet the challenge of COVID-19 and caring for our faculty and students' well-being in this coronavirus world. And at the same time, of course, engaging students and having them motivated for studies in this face-to-face and online, this rotation-wise blended teaching would be a challenge. This blended learning would also require improved infrastructure, IT structure, and classroom environment. And at the same time, on the side of faculty, they do require digital skills and devising efficient ways of communication with students. Finally, we feel that financial challenges may be there, and they may affect our certain targets, including research activities. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I think that was quick and brief, but I have a feeling that the challenges are going to rise as we go along, and they'll be pretty similar for some of you. For the sake of time, I'm going to take the liberty of requesting the rest of you to perhaps limit it to your objectives for the coming year. And I think that will sort of save time, and we listen to what you want to do for your faculty. Challenge, if you think there is some challenge that is beyond what Dr. Mahmood Qureshi has said, perhaps that's very typical to your department, then as faculty, then perhaps please do state. But I think achievements of the past year, we could let them slide for now. Thank you so much. Over to Dr. Altaf. You've just joined, so you're new, and so you don't have a year to talk about. So I guess the objectives fall well within your domain. And if there is any other challenge apart from what Dr. Mahmood Qureshi has said.
Yes, thank you. Well, naturally, I don't have much to tell. The only information I have is about mass comm, but I will just let it go. I'm just beginning. When I told my son that I'm the Dean of Humanities, and he said, but journalism and mass communication doesn't fall into humanities. And I said, I know that, but it does. so it's interesting. The way I see it, one thing is very important, that the 36th US president, when he was inaugurating the National Endowment for Humanities, in his speech, he said that whenever there is funding, sciences get a penthouse, whereas humanities get the basement. So our biggest challenge would always be getting more funding, getting more attention. We have these departments, I don't need to name them, and these are running well. I look forward to a couple of things. One is very important to me is interdisciplinarity, like disciplines work together and they don't work in different compartments. So this is something that I would love to do in the coming year, and I'm sure that we'll be successful. The second important aspect is research, and I think a Journal of Humanities is important, that we have a Journal of Humanities. Most of our teachers with MPhil degrees have to publish outside, and they have to even pay for getting their research publications done. So I think these are the two priorities that I have in mind. There is nothing much that I see right now. It's most of it is kind of strengthening the existing structure and working with the faculty. As far as humanities is concerned, I think our task of teaching, I won't say that it's easy, but it is not that difficult when it comes to natural sciences in comparison to that during the COVID, although there'll be a lot of things to think about. So I'll just not take much of your time. The last thing that I would like to say is that humanities are important because whenever we are in a state of moral challenge, we look back at humanities for support. And for that very reason, it's very important that we support humanities because it doesn't earn us money. And in fact, my task was made easier by Dr. Tebby yesterday. He just explained humanities, what it is. So if you have listened to that, it is our case, basically. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So we'll now go on to Dr. Hassan. He has just joined as the Dean of Natural Sciences, and so perhaps there is no past year to really recount for. So, Dr. Hassan, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruxana. And yes, I can't take credit for the past year. And however, the performance of our faculty in terms of the number of publications has been very good. I think there are in all around more than 60 international research publications which have come out of this faculty. That is the 5 departments, which is life sciences, chemistry, physics, environmental sciences, and pharmacology. In the next year, I hope that to encourage that pharmacology, which is yet to roll out its first batch of BS students, will try to upgrade, add an MPhil program, and I hope that environmental sciences will start a PhD program also. I feel that with our reduced fee structure, we should start getting a good intake in the departments which are lacking in good intake. Even physics does not have enough of an intake at the moment, at the MPhil and PhD level. 3 PhDs were produced last year from this faculty, and we hope that this number will go up, because it is essential that this number goes up, because AGC does not treat us as a research university. And I think we are as good or good enough to be included in this category. And I think the science faculty will lead the way in this. So I hope in the coming year, we will be able to see an increase in our research output. And maybe I think at the BS level, life sciences has a number of programs which they offer at the BS level. And I hope that the other departments will also be able to add on to their programs, so that the diversification takes place at the undergraduate level also. So there are difficulties. HEC is becoming more stingy in its funding, and research projects which have been there in previous years are going down now. So we should be looking for funding from external sources, that is other than HEC. Maybe some international funding can be brought in also. So let's hope that we are able to sort of move in this direction, to move to achieve these goals that I have just talked about. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hassan. And I know that before you joined, Dr. Dildar took a lot of interest in lots of things. And yes, done a great job, as has Dr. Nukba previously before that. I would like now to invite Dr. Kausar Abdullah. He's the Dean of Postgraduate Education at FCC, and also his biotechnology is his area. So, Dr. Kausar, over to you. I have taken the liberty of cutting out 3 points, and I have left it to you to pick up what you think is the main thing to say.
Yeah, thank you, Tuksana, for giving us this opportunity. We have been waiting for it for quite some time now. Anyway, you see, my job is overall. You see, I've been entrusted with a job that was to make this college into a university. And as you can imagine, that there is no university without postgraduate programs. So when I started, there was only one MPhil, which was in biotechnology. And now we have, mashallah, more than 18 MPhil programs. And now there is hardly any department where there is no MPhil program. So this is an indication of the way this university is heading to, you see. And in order to encourage that, we have established, and I want since there are more than 200 faculty members here. I want to inform them, some of them who are new, that we have an internal research and innovation fund established here, which is we have 5 million rupees revolving fund, and we have been funding research projects by the faculty and students over the last 4 years, you see, and we have up till now funded about 20 such projects. And incidentally, I would like to emphasize that out of those, 9 are from social and humanities. You see, social sciences and humanities. So I'm so happy that social sciences are also very, very actively involved. You see, and I think we must compliment them. And this also shows Hassan Shah had been talking about the external funding, and I totally agree. And we have been submitting to HEC about 17 NRPU projects, and only about 5 or 6 have been funded up till now, you see. But from external funding, I have obtained the figures from the accounts department, and we have 150 million rupees, more than 150 billion rupees have been come to FC College through external funding, and major part of that comes from the social sciences. And I want to compliment them and want to place on the record, you see, that it is generally said that the chunk goes to sciences, but here at FC College, the social sciences and humanities are also actively involved. We have a poverty lab here, we have a population center here, and then these are the iconic activities which we must portray, you see, we must market them. And the other important thing is that this has been our dream, and I have been talking about it in the last retreat also, that our dream is to have a one science environment, you see. At least in the natural sciences, all the barriers of physics, chemistry, biology should be broken, because there is no such thing actually, it is all one science, you see, And similarly, that one science has to be extended to social sciences and humanities as well. And then as an evidence of that, we were successful, and this was my passion for a long time, to have a collaborative activity, and that resulted in our diploma in food security management, where the School of Life Sciences, Center for Public Policy and Governance, Sociology Departments, Economics Department, and School of Management, all these participated actively in that diploma, and the faculty from all these departments helped us to teach that course, you see, So this is one indication that we all should come together and find areas where we can collaborate and interact with each other, you see. The other important thing that I want to share with all of you is the strengthening of ORIC. ORIC has been the Office of Research, Innovation and Commercialization. This has been a requirement by HEC, but even there is a requirement or not, this is an activity which we are genuinely interested. All of us are interested in entrepreneurship, in developing some linkages with the stakeholders, and that's where ORIC comes into play, you see, and all this research funding, the available grants supporting the students to go to participate in different conferences, and all such activities has been previously is supported by ORIC, and we will continue to support that, and that is a very active program. And also we have been supporting all activities related to holding the research conferences, holding the meetings, etc. And FCC has been very active in this area as well. You see, we had every year the chemistry department holds an international conference. We have been holding conferences every twice a year or something. We are extremely fortunate to have all the people who are actively involved in undertaking these activities. Other interesting thing is that we have recently from the School of Life Sciences have made a database of all our alumni, you know, and we are so proud to say that out of those, at the moment, there are 30 of our students who are abroad, either finished their PhDs or doing PhDs, you see, you know. So this is an excellent indication of the quality of education and the way we are developing, and we are going to hold a meeting of all those alumni through online. I mean, now it is so easy to see to have that, and I would request other faculties, other departments also to concentrate on their alumni also. I mean, who have over the last 5-6 years have graduated and are working abroad or, you know, in academia or elsewhere, and we should try to utilize their expertise and the interaction, you see. The other area where we will be developing is the entrepreneurship. We have already requested all departments to have courses, 1 credit hour, 2 credit hour course on entrepreneurship, you see. And that in chemistry and environment and in the School of Life Sciences, we are already doing that, but I would request other departments also to develop similar courses on entrepreneurship. And then we are planning with the help of School of Management Sciences to establish a business incubator center, you see. And then that I have told Mr. Rao, Dr. Rao also, that we can help them through our ORIC funding as well, you see, you know. So this is an area where we must go in, and this is extremely important for our further progress, you see. The other important thing is that we have talked about it, that our activity regarding marketing, regarding advertising is very, very weak, you see. So we must concentrate on that. Our FC College is not seen outside, you see, you know. So we have to do certain efforts, and we will, inshallah, do that. And I see a lot of opportunities. FC College has come on the stage of international development also. We have been getting international funding as well, and I'm so happy I can share with you. It is all will be on the website of ORIC, that the kind of funding that we are getting from all different sources for social sciences and humanities, and then this is a very good sign, and I hope that we can continue in that fashion, you see. So I hope one ICE sector and our sector for agreeing to reduce the fee of all the MPhil programs, you see. This is a historical step, and it is an excellent step to start the tenure of ICE rector, and also a kind of a parting gift by the existing rector, you see. And I hope such attitude, such approach continues in future as well. So I thank you all for the time. I'm sure I have, I have gone beyond my allocated time, and I'm thankful to Tuksana for not interrupting me. Thank you.
I dare not, Dr. Kausar. You are the big gun. So, but you had a lot to say, and it was nice to know what's happening in the postgraduate side. Over to Mavish. I will have to request, I think some of you had PowerPoints to share. We are happy to have them on. Yeah.
Thank you so much for providing this opportunity to me to talk about the Faculty of Education, which includes the Department of Education and Department of Health and Physical Education. So I'll very quickly talk about the Department of Education first, which houses 6 faculty members. We have almost 55 students who would be graduating this year, majoring in education. Our coursework includes 2 basic level courses, 3 intermediate level courses, and 17 advanced level courses that we keep on offering on a rotational basis during, throughout the year. The Department of Health and Physical Education houses 3 permanent faculty members, and their coursework includes 15 basic level courses. Our achievements. Well, I took over, I assumed the Dean's office only in March 2020. So I'm going to just speak about the achievements that I have accomplished in collaboration with my team members, of course. So in 2019, we started under the supervision of Cheryl Burke, started to document and formulate more robust systems and procedures at the department. So continuing doing that, we accomplished a graduating student profile, which we will be using. And I will talk about it as one of the upcoming objectives for the department. We'll be using it to backtrack course learning outcomes and to match our course outlines with the terminal competencies, and to evaluate the courses if we are fulfilling those core competencies or not. In the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, we completely revamped the internship procedures and expectations for the students by translating them into the remote setting. The department is presently, all the faculty members, they are working under 3 development committees, which is also a new initiative, and I regard it as one of our achievements because we have accomplished few of our targets that we had set forth as a team in March 2020. An example of which is the inaugural edition of our newsletter that was published last month. Last year had been, in fact, up till now, this year had been very productive for the faculty members. We have been engaged in ongoing research. The faculty published 9 academic research papers in different peer-reviewed journals, national and international both. And here I'd like to emphasize on the fact that we do not offer an MPhil degree program as of yet, and engaging in an ongoing academic research is kind of an added task for the faculty members. Our faculty members were selected by various funding agencies to engage in ongoing professional learning and development initiatives hosted at different universities in the United States of America. Some of the faculty members also presented their academic work at international forums like conferences held around the world. Then another moment of pride for me is when I say that we have been engaged as consultants to inform the training outcomes for Punjab Higher Education Commission, the training that they have planned for the government college teachers and principals. So I consider this as a huge contribution to strengthening the present education systems in our country. Lastly, we have been able to develop strategic alliance with some of the prominent names in the industry of education, of course. Until last year, we had the alliance with the Allied School System, which is a franchise model. However, until now, we have our alliance with the City School Network, the Cornerstone School, and Idare-e-Talim-e-Ugai, which is a government or semi-government organization, but they are the official partners with UNESCO to conduct any research related to academic achievement in Asia Pacific region. So we are very hopeful that we will be joining hands with them in various projects. Talking about the development plans, I'd already talked about reviewing the course outlines according to our graduating students' profile. We wish to launch an MPhil program. Our internal deadline to meet it, to submit the proposal for a review is somewhere February 2021, and we have backward planning for that, where we are going to start organizing some roundtable talks with the present people in the market. We will consult the stakeholders, analyze the market, and of course then develop a comprehensive proposal for board's review. We plan to launch the program by September 2021. We are also looking at getting recognized by National Accreditation Council for Teacher Education. And lastly, we are thinking about, in fact, we have talked about operating a department-based research center. Maybe the theme would be peace education. This brings me to the end, and thank you so much. I hope that we are able to, the next time when I meet all of you, I'm able to tell you that we have accomplished most of these targets. And I'd like to thank my team. Naturally, without them, everything is possible with their help only. So thank you, Roxana.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mavish. I feel so bad for cutting down time. You have all prepared such a long time for and have been waiting for this to happen. I truly apologize for, barging in and wanting to tap the time. Dr. Rao Raza Hashim, please over to you. I see that you also have a PowerPoint. Please feel free.
No, I don't have PowerPoint, but I have notes, but I will be very brief. First of all, Dr. Roxana Zia, thank you very much for arranging this opportunity for us to share our thoughts with the other faculties as well, and for arranging such a knowledgeable and informative retreat. Second thing which I want to talk about before I come to my objective is that after looking into the stats provided by the Vice Rector about the student satisfaction, I think so we don't have any other option other than to go for blended learning. So I endorse this thing, and I would like to request my all friends and faculty members to work really hard and to make sure that we achieve the student satisfaction, or you just enhance the student satisfaction. So quickly, I'll come to the three main objectives for the coming year. The first one is to revamp our MBA program. This is one of my main objectives, and to strengthen the executive education, to start certifications and more diplomas, because we have been engaged with industry like Honda, Engro. We want to do it for other organizations as well. And as Dr. Kausar Abdullah mentioned about that, introducing entrepreneurship, we already have a plan for that, and I would like to collaborate with ORIC and other departments in this regard. We have made certifications in that respect, that anyone who is in other departments, they can join our executive education and can benefit from that entrepreneurship courses and other business related courses which can really benefit them in commercializing their research outputs. My main focus is going to increase the student satisfaction. We have to really work on that, because this is the one of the strongest indicators for all of us, because if our student is not satisfied, that is a huge thing for me and for all of us. So we need to work really hard on that, and that is something which we'll be working a lot. Regarding the research, as Dr. Kausar has already mentioned, Dr. Hassan has also mentioned about it, that we were teaching university initially, first a college, then a teaching university, and then we are moving towards a mixed university. I believe that we won't be a research university as a complete, because that requires a lot of funding to run on, because the main resources or income generated is from the undergraduate courses, which basically support the postgraduate courses or subsidize them. So we will always look into the mix, and once we are focusing on the research side, my one of the objective is not to ignore the superstar faculty members who have been focusing a lot on the undergraduate or taught courses. So we need to accommodate them and reward them as well. So in our research perspective, last year we have 70% of my faculty published in all reputed journals, which is and other research-related activities, which is a big achievement for us. Initially, we were not good at that, but in the last year we have done that. And I have seen, I don't want to take the names, but I have the whole list of publications which I can share. This year, the last objective which I want to discuss is interdepartment collaboration, which Dr. Kausar has also pointed out. Dr. Altaf has also pointed out. Like we have already done with Dr. Kausar Abdullah in life sciences and in the diploma in food security and management, we would like to do the same with CEPPG, because that's something which we think we have an overlapping interest, especially in the PhD program. We would like to contribute. We have so many PhDs, and we have, and they're really good, and they're foreign PhDs. So we want them to, contribute towards that side. We would like, and we would love, and we are engaged with ORIC, and we would do, because we have our incubation center approved by the Vice Rector office, but we don't have we don't have faculty rooms, or we don't have the space available right now, but we will have this year. I'm pretty much sure that we will get the funds for it. And we as business department really need to work with ORIC. This is one of my task, or you may say my objective with ORIC, so that we can because we have an overlapping area, a huge overlapping area, because we are specialized in one thing, that is how to commercialize things, how the entrepreneurship can work, and that's our specialization. So we would like to collaborate further with Dr. Kausar about it. So yes, the challenges is student satisfaction, problems relating to blended learning. We will be having lots of problems, but I would just request everyone, we can do it. We have done so many things and we can still do it. And as we have already heard about it, we will survive. So that's it. That's all from me. And because the time is running out, I won't take much time. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Last but not the least, in case you are wondering, I went by the alphabetical order of the names. So Dr. Sikandar, over to you, social sciences.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Rukhsana. First and foremost, I would like to thank Dr. Kausar Abdullah for his gracious remarks about social sciences and our involvement in research as well. But I would beg to say this, that we would not really like to be part of one sciences project. As long as I'm the dean, I would see to it that social sciences has its own autonomy. It has its own basis, it has its own epistemology, it has its own methodology. So it should remain what it is. Of course, it should grow and develop in pace with the rest of the world. Now, briefly, I would run through some of the things I had jotted down, but for paucity of time. Let me begin very briefly, and I'll be basically talking to the point, starting with the achievements of the past year. Of course, our most renowned achievement has been the Population Research Center, which Dr. Kausar kindly mentioned, which was established in October 2019 to promote teaching and research on demography and population studies in Pakistan in association with the Population Council Pakistan, and presently funded by UNFPA. It's a collaborative effort, a collegial effort on part of 3 departments of social sciences: sociology, economics, and geography, and is joined by the statistics department. It has already launched its web page, its newsletter, repository, and has had 2 webinars already. We are in the process of organizing 3rd webinar in November with international participants in collaboration with Population Council. Dr. Waqas is the director and Mr. Jawad Tariq is the coordinator, and they have done a superb job with the center. The second achievement that I would like to mention is the launching of MPhil program in history. As Dr. Kausar mentioned, we have now these MPhil postgraduate programs in all departments of social sciences now, except for geography, which I hope that in due course of time, we'll have a postgraduate program over there too, because the importance of geography cannot be overemphasized. History is a very old department. For the benefit of our new colleagues, this is one of the oldest departments at FC, which started in 1908, along with the English and mathematics department. Economics, chemistry followed in 1917. So I'm so happy for them to have this postgraduate program after such a long time. And of course, we hope soon to have our PhD program in economics. We are in the final stages of approval with the HEC, and Dr. Kausar has been kindly very helpful with that. Now I'll quickly run through some of the objectives for the coming year. Basically I have three objectives in mind. One, I would like to complete this edited volume that we have been working on for the last 2 years on Pakistan studies for undergraduate students. It's tentatively titled Pakistan Studies, a Reader. And if possible, offer it to an international publisher such as OUP. That would be my preference, Oxford University Press. Some 10 chapters, and we have been, getting the draft, some 10 chapters, in line with the HEC requirements or at some stages of drafting. And they are being contributed by very eminent colleagues from within the institution, from social sciences largely, but also one contribution from Dr. Nukba in humanities. Hopefully this book will serve the needs not only of our students, our undergraduate students, but of students all over the country. For this mandatory course for graduation, the students now will have a dedicated book for the course. Another important objective for me next year is to launch the Forman Journal of Social Sciences, an integrated journal concerning different disciplines of social sciences. Some initial preparations have already been made. We already have an X category journal in social sciences, that is our Forman Journal of Economic Studies. There are only 2 journals in Pakistan right now, which in economics, which are in the X category. My third and most ambitious objective for the next year is the establishment of Center for Applied Social Sciences Research to apply methods and concepts in social sciences to develop practical solutions to problems facing the country, from social, cultural, economic, political to international. It should work more as a think tank for the generation of knowledge, analysis, and advice, both for public and private sectors. At the same time, I'm also thinking of 2 more centers, and I would like to share with my friends and colleagues here. One, I think, is about time that FC had a Center for Muslim-Christian Relations. From a professional social sciences perspective, not on religious theological basis, not in the sense of interfaith studies, but primarily in terms of the disciplines of social sciences, either individually or through the multidisciplinary approach. Disciplines like history, perspectives like history, society, culture, politics, international affairs, Islamophobia, extremism, terrorism, that kind of issues need to be addressed, but in a social sciences text and in a social sciences context. Primarily, we already have such centers in 2 very renowned areas of knowledge. One is at Oxford and the other is at Georgetown in Washington, DC, but they are more oriented towards religion and theology. I would like to have it one which is really rooted into social sciences discipline, into professional social sciences discipline. Another center that I would like to be thinking of and sharing with my friends and colleagues here again is, I think maybe it would be good for FC, after all the progress that we have made over the years, is to have a Center for Gender Studies. concentrating on problems of women in Pakistan, especially in the social sector, health, education, labor, etc. I know there are quite a few colleagues of mine who are already working in these areas. But these two centers can wait for now. My priority is Center for Applied Social Sciences Research, to concentrate on research more than ever. That's what we need really. If we have to, sort of break from this, this label of being only a teaching university. 2 years back, I helped establish an informal institution for research activities on the campus. Some of my colleagues are familiar with it. Research and Review Club, and Dr. Oksana has been a great help in its activities, which now has membership not only from social sciences, but also from humanities and even education faculty. I want to see it more formalized and have its professional counterpart in this Applied Center for Social Sciences Research. I hope I will have the encouragement and support of my senior colleagues, higher authorities, the rector and the vice rector in this effort. Research, I believe, and it has been shared by my colleagues again and again, is the key to growth and development of our university. Finally, just a word on top challenges. Of course, the top challenge is financial, as it relates to hiring of additional faculty, as well as some office space. I hope we will be able to secure some of these resources to meet our objectives for the next year, or at least enough to have one objective completed during the next year. For now, of course, as all of us know, there is a moratorium on all new programs and initiatives, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sikandar. It was very heartwarming to hear from all of you, our illustrious academic leadership, and the sort of work that you're all doing jointly. I think there's a lot more to be done, but we have come a long way in these 10 years, and I see it, it's remarkable. It's very heartening, I'm sure, for other faculty. I will now try to wind up and say my thanks to most of you that have been with us. I would especially like to thank, number one, the presenters. They did a great job, like all of you did, and the deans and the faculty. And I also the students. The students prepared a lot for this, and we missed 2 of them yesterday. And if anybody who was missed yesterday is here, I would love to have them come up and introduce themselves. Ephraim, you missed it yesterday, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm right here.
Okay.
I missed it yesterday because I was waiting in the waiting room.
And you couldn't. I know that you couldn't get into the issues. Yeah. So thank you. I just wanted to personally thank you. Dr. Trimble wanted to thank you personally. I think Sabah was the other one. And I'm sorry. Thank you so much. We'll move on. Thank you, students, all of you, for taking the time to give your input. It was remarkable. I also want to thank the technology team. They have been superb. Shakir, he has been working with us for a long time. Shahid Samson, again, a very long time. We have been working together. And now there's another addition, Zimran, to the team for the classrooms. And of course, Anthony always is very helpful, and his team is very forthcoming. I just want to quickly remind you that we put in a feedback form, and it will be very, very useful for us to plan your future sessions as they come along. So please do take a few minutes to fill that up. I would, in the end, leave with a reflection. But before that, may I ask Dr. Trimble to say a few words? Dr. Trimble, I hope you're feeling better, though.
I am feeling better. Thank you so much. I do want to express my deep appreciation to all those who planned for weeks and months for this retreat. I want to thank all those who presented and were participating in this. For all of you who attended for the long hours, there is great challenges in front of us. There's great opportunities for learning. The blended learning is the mode that will help us best to achieve the learning outcomes that we have for our students. It's going to be a challenge for all of us. It is not ideal in any sense. The best, of course, is person to person, but we can't do that. So we'll all have to do our level best, whether that's in technology issues or pedagogy issues, student interactions. And I know that we will meet the challenge that is ahead of us. I believe in you strongly. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Dr. Ruxana, please unmute your mic.
I'm sorry. And we will send you these materials, as you can see, and we'll be holding some faculty orientations, hopefully before the year starts. One person that I could not have forgotten, because all of you, he has helped each one of you individually, the presenters, is Suleiman Khairullah. He knew things backwards and forward about Zoom, and I think he did a fantastic job, and he has been there supporting me when I have been getting low. I have to really, from the bottom of my heart, thank him for his moral support, because we are just the two of us working together, and he has just worked long hours. He's been there at night. I've sent him a message sometimes at 2 in the morning, and he has responded. So Suleiman, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. And of course, our faculty that demand a lot of respect and a lot of clapping. You are a great faculty to work with, and I love you all. So thank you so much. I am leaving with a reflection that Dr. Tebi yesterday said, and it's quite ironic that I had named it a parting reflection, but that it goes both for Dr. Tebi and for the message he says. I had hoped that he would be here and say his, and to put an end, at the end say something, but perhaps he is not here. We have 184 participants. Thank you for bearing up with us. We are very, very thankful to you. Okay, bye-bye.